guys, this is Ollie. Welcome back to In Korea. I hope you're all safe and well wherever you are. Let me briefly remind you that You in Korea is a channel for those who love Korea, who want to learn more about this country. Here I'm trying to share with you guys the stories of my life for the past 11 years in Korea, share some interesting facts about the country, maybe some information that is not really well known worldwide. I hope you enjoy watching our videos. If you like them, please subscribe to our channel, give us thumbs up, and leave your feedback in the comment section. You all guys love Korean drama, right? Today we're going to talk about one specific drama that is currently #1 on Netflix in the category of non-English series. I'm of course talking about The Glory. You've probably all heard about it. It's the hottest series right now, and I'm pretty sure you've all seen at least part 1, right? The Glory is a Netflix series that tells the story of a woman who was broken to her soul by school bullies. She is carefully preparing now for revenge and thoroughly punishing those who hurt her. It's very fun. Part 2 of this drama has been released recently and is already gaining popularity worldwide. But for those who are not familiar with the story, let's look briefly at part 1. Born as a daughter of a single mother, the main character, Moon Dong-eun, suffered terrible school violence physically and sexually by 5 people. This gang did all kinds of evil things, such as hitting her, leaving burns on her body by a hair curler, and even coming to her house to bully her. Eventually, Moon Dong-eun dropped out of school after many twists and turns. Over the years, she became an elementary school teacher and became a school teacher for her main abuser's daughter, after various hardships, of course, and then finally appeared in front of the bullies to get her revenge. This is the rough plot of The Glory Part 1, and in Part 2, the full-fledged story of how the revenge unfolds. And now back to Part 2. I will just give you 3 hints that lead to Part 2. Moon Dong-eun was not the only victim of school violence by the same group of people. They bullied another student who had disabled parents and drove her to death. The girl's mother was mute, so she of course was not able to reveal the real reason behind the unfair death of her daughter. There was no God and no religion in these people's lives. This reminded me a lot of the terrible human rights abuse and violence within North Korea. According to the World Freedom Index, North Korea has the lowest human rights and freedom of religion index in the world, and is also the only country to receive such low scores every year for half a century. North Korea promotes social democracy, but human rights abuse, isolation, deportation, women's physical and sexual violence against vulnerable groups such as foreigners, disabled, and women are known to be widespread. Moreover, North Korea has no religious freedom at all. Recently, dozens of North Koreans were discovered and executed in underground churches, and more than 100 members of their families were arrested and sent to labor camps. North Korea's Reboundary Ideological Culture Exclusion Act was enacted in December 2022 to eradicate actions that do not meet the norms of the North Korean authorities, such as all external cultures, religions, and capitalist lifestyles, such as the Korean wave. Being a Christian or possessing a Bible in North Korea is a serious crime and is severely punished. It's been going on for years and years, just like Moon Dong-eun, who went through violence every day for several years. As we have just seen, it has been at the bottom for decades, since the initial publication of the Human Rights Indicators. We thought, if there had been more interest in the well-being of the weak, Moon Dong-eun would not have suffered that much. So just like this, if we paid a little more attention to North Korea, wouldn't human rights abuse be reduced? Then let's get closer to The Glory Part 2, Revenge of Moon Dong-eun. freedom of speech also played a huge part in Moon Dong-eun's journey to her revenge. The only reason why this group was able to continue bullying her through the years is because her multiple reports were constantly silenced. Moon Dong-eun informed the school and police of her terrible situation, but her voice was blocked from everywhere. Even the good nurse who was trying to help her was forced to quit, and the truth was buried. This is because the network of the perpetrator's wealthy parents worked everywhere. The scene of such terrible human rights abuse was not known around, so the perpetrators could eat and live well for decades. The scene where the media's suppression and truth are concealed is very familiar to the real situation in North Korea too. According to the 2022 Democracy Index, North Korea is number 165 among the total of 167 countries surveyed. The control of the media as well as individuals is the worst there. North Korea is a typical authoritarian system that controls all criticism against the government. It is impossible to have free elections, and there is no independent judicial system. Looking at the results of a survey by World Press Freedom Index, you can see the status of North Korea. With a score of 13.92 out of 100, freedom of speech is at a very serious stage, and it was selected as one of the 10 worst countries in the world. North Korea is regarded as the world's most authoritarian regime and an information control country that strictly prohibits all information and independent media. Anti-human rights behavior such as media control, which is supposed to report only praise for Kim Jong-un, their capture and execution of domestic and foreign journalists, is receiving the worst evaluation. The main character's morally corrupt mother can be seen as another perpetrator. Poor Moon Dong-eun's life becomes a miserable existence, and Moon Dong-eun also cuts ties with her parents because of money. In part 1, her own mother agrees to make the school violence report go away for just a few pennies, abandoning her daughter and runs away with the settlement money. In part 2, her mother is on the side of the corrupt group and not on her daughter's side. By the way, the extreme poverty and moral corruption are daily lives in North Korea. You see, North Korea has no economic freedom, thus no perception of corruption. According to the reports on economic freedoms, North Korea has always ranked last among 176 countries, and it's been ranking last for the past 27 years. North Korea has the world's most repressive economic system, and the regime's massive military spending and economic control have been blamed for decades for chronic economic and food shortages. Let's take a look at the results of the Transparency International 2022 Corruption Perception Index survey. North Korea's public sector integrity also ranked last in the Asia-Pacific region, which makes it more corrupt than Afghanistan. North Korea has no foundation for administration and rule of law to check corruption, and rather suppresses its people against corruption. So what happens next in The Glory Part 2? Well, since there are a lot of people who haven't seen it yet, there will be no spoilers. I hope you can all check it out for yourself. Today we were talking about The Glory, the hottest series on Netflix non-English section right now. I hope you all have time to check it out. I also hope you are all very happy and you have no terrible people or no terrible things in your life. I will be back soon with more interesting topics. Until then, please stay with our channel. If you like watching our videos, please subscribe, give us thumbs up, and leave your feedback in the comment section. I'll see you next time, and until then, 안녕!